Hey guys, I'm Daryl Kristen with AFTERBUZZ TV. You know, I was recently looking to buy a car and I thought to myself, there has to be a better way. That old game of cat and mouse at the dealership, going to the manager and coming back. I mean, who wants to do that anymore? I know I don't. It's a process filled with complete anxiety. So I spoke to my friend and they told me about a new way to buy a car. She says it's called TrueCar.com and it's a revolutionizing way to buy a car and have a better experience forever. TrueCar.com, I thought, I'm intrigued, but what's it all about? So my friend told me that at TrueCar.com you can actually see what others paid to buy the car that you're looking for in your particular area. The site gives you a total transparency and the confidence to know when you're getting a great deal. On top of that, you can lock in negotiation-free guaranteed savings on the car you're looking for. She said TrueCar users save an average of $3,000 off MSRP. How is this possible? I don't know. I thought about it. And then she told me that at TrueCar.com you get a certified guarantee take on the certificate to a TrueCar certified dealer so you don't have to worry about the hassle and anxiety of the old way to buy a car. You don't even have to take my word for it if you don't believe me. I did a little bit more research and found out that TrueCar's certified dealers have sold over 1 million cars to TrueCar users. Over 40,000 last month alone. So seriously, if you're ready to buy a car, why wouldn't you go to TrueCar.com? Negotiation-free guaranteed savings, a hassle-free experience, and a TrueCar certified dealer that is committed to a new and better way to buy a car. I mean, hey, you got me sold. You should check it out too. Save time, save money, and never overpay. Just visit TrueCar.com today. You will not be disappointed.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
The AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE Monday Night Raw After Show.
Fight for what's right. Fight for your life.
Cathy, get into it. Drum with me. We're gonna air drum it out. Come on. Let's. Right, got people watching. Cathy, air drum it.
You're doing so well. I'm doing it for the both of us.
Woo! It's overload, people. Not only did the network start today, but 2 of the greatest superstars in history came back. I can't even contain myself. I didn't even drink a Go Girl. I'm so pumped up.
Whoa.
Welcome.
Like the greatest day of your life.
It's amazing. Welcome to the Raw After Show. Quasto here next to me. The overexcited, as always.
I can barely contain my excitement, guys.
Well, look, I mean, that's a nice dress as well. The Cathys are in full force tonight. At Catherine Kelley on Twitter. Cathy Kelley, everybody.
Hey.
I noticed there's a belt in front of you. Explain, please.
Apparently I am 1/4 of
oh, Jesus.
the
Lame.
predictions title champion. But I just want to say that
Should we have a fatal
last
four-way?
time that I won it, I graciously gave it up to Tom, and there was no tiebreaker this time. So I feel like
Just
I
keep
should
it.
be the rightful owner.
Just do what Punk did in 2011 and run away with it.
Okay.
Just keep it. And then Rosenberg will find a new title and just like title versus title.
He put it in his fridge. Remember that? It was in his
Yeah.
fridge.
I have too many cupcakes in there.
Well,
I don't have
that's
any
true.
room.
Well, Cathy,
yeah.
congratulations on being the new predictions champion.
Thanks.
Who were the other 3? Do you even know?
Who else is here?
There was
No,
those.
Kaori was one of them, Rome, and then I think Tom was the
Tom.
4th. So.
Yeah.
You know, it's just easier to keep it here. Let's just keep it with you.
Let's just keep it here.
Yeah. Cathy Kelley, predictions champion, everybody. Woohoo! Across from me, he's always vest for business. Find him at The Walking Dale on Twitter, and you know what? He's just an awesome-looking cowboy this evening. Dale Rutledge.
Howdy, partner.
And for a night like this, we have just a really fun guest. He's been on the show before. He's a friend of the show. I find him on Twitter at Pizza Nacho69, but you know him better as the author of Power Moves, the book, from at Dad Boner. Give it up for Mike Burns.
Woo!
Welcome back.
Hey, guys.
Hot Mike, hot Mike.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Dad boners across America rejoice.
They're rejoicing right now.
Oh, man, what a day. It started off at 9 a.m. Eastern. People just logged on and they tried to sign up for the network. And I saw a little bit of tweeting early on. People were upset. Like, I can't get on right away. It's like, well, you know, calm down. You gotta get on there.
Like with any launch, it had a little...
Equating it to the healthcare site, though, really?
That's what I did.
No.
No, I said, I'm like, it's gonna be better than healthcare.org, so relax. That's what I did say.
Okay.
I'm like, not a...
That's fair, that's fair.
It's insulting to the network to equate it to healthcare. Yeah. I mean, this is the WWE network.
Exactly.
Not stupid healthcare that no one cares
Yeah,
about.
who signs up for healthcare?
You know what?
I don't need that.
You know how many times I went to healthcare.org? Nil. You know how many times I went to the WWE Network today? About 4.5. So
I already watched WrestleMania 3.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. Not even joking.
Oh, my God, that's awesome.
It's a good start.
Yeah, apparently, really good WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't, I mean, that was 1986. So that was back in the day. Well, 84 was the first one, so I'm just counting 1, 2, 3, because, you know, I'd count like
You're
that.
pretty good at counting to 3.
Well,
No big deal.
NBD. Oh, man. So, yeah, we have the network, which, from what we see, is just, I don't know the manpower that went behind it and woman power that went behind it, but my God, it does have everything.
It's got everything. I mean, you can literally find whatever pay-per-view you're looking for and flat out.
What I found amazing is you could search a certain wrestler, and, like, bam, matches just pop up.
Oh, could you? I was trying. I didn't get to play around with that.
That's what JBL did during Raw.
JBL discussed it on the program this evening.
I
He was
see.
like, look at me with the acolytes, Michael! You know?
And that's so great.
ABA!
That's amazing that you can do that and not have to sit through
Unbelievable.
and sift through an entire WrestleMania or an entire pay-per-view. You can just go and find a JBL match.
Yeah. I can only imagine that the people behind putting this together have to all be on blood pressure medication at this point. That's a lot of work.
Surely, yeah.
And
I don't think they've gotten any sleep the last couple months.
No.
And I'm sure it was not an easy process. You're
Oh,
dealing
no.
with the McMahon family
Yeah.
at your neck, making sure you get that up properly.
Ripping VHS tapes. I mean,
Correct. There's a lot of transitions there.
Everyone that was involved is now signing up for healthcare.
yeah. Exactly.
But what a great value.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, I sound like I'm a salesman for it, but $10 a month is amazing.
dude, I pay for Netflix, and I use it like 3 times a year.
Right.
So I'm going to use the network. I'm not going to have a social life anymore, but I'm going to use it.
No need.
No.
Did
Who
you
needs
have one
it?
before?
We'll cancel that one event you were doing.
Oh, Kathy. That's a touche.
At least now you'll have something else to do.
Like built-in friends, Johnny.
Yeah.
Your new significant other is the WWE Network.
And my wrestling buddies.
And your wrestling buddies. It's everything in one.
It's cheaper than a girlfriend.
Yeah,
That's
that
true.
it is.
And so cute.
Right.
It's your dream girl at just $10 a month.
At $9.99.
Love don't cost a thing. Yeah, love actually costs.
Are
lot of
you
money.
sick
Yeah.
of romance?
Thank you.
Are you tired of taking out women or men and spending your hard-earned dollars on them?
Does nobody
Try the
get you?
WWE Network for just $10 a month. It's like you're making money and saving your feelings.
The only crying you're going to do is when Daniel Bryan gets screwed again. The network. Oh, man. So, yeah, of course we had that, but we might as well just get into Raw because the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view happened last night.
And that is what we're here for, so.
We are here for it's all a
Might as well.
It's all a thing. Well, there's so many things. I can't wait to get into the hashtag Bootista. We will get into that. But we start off the show with the immortal Hulk Hogan. Just, wow. Just seeing him come out again to that music, the boa.
The boa, all the regalia.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
And he's walking, he even walks better now than he did in TNA. Like, he just looks good.
He's had some rest.
Yeah, got to rest up, put that hip on ice for a minute, maybe.
Little bit.
I don't know.
A little bit.
I also have to make mention of those Air Jordan 3s that he was wearing this evening.
I
Hulk
didn't.
Hogan, big Air Jordan fiend right now.
Really?
Yeah, he's big into them. If you follow him on Instagram, he gets the new ones from Nike. So That makes me happy as a wrestling and Air Jordan enthusiast.
Look, if you send me Air Jordans, I'll wear them.
Oh, absolutely.
I ain't gonna buy them, but I'll sport them.
Yeah.
No one wants me to send them.
No.
To me, I should say.
Maybe if we talk about it a little bit more, we'll
I hear Air Jordans are the best.
Have you heard of Air Jordans? No,
I don't think that's going to do it, Johnny.
no, probably not.
Maybe
but
ask your friends.
Hulk Hogan comes out to the ring and, does the Hulk Hogan thing, puts over the network, of course, the then and the now. You could watch Bruno, you could watch Shawn Michaels, you could watch Stone Cold Steve Austin toss a couple of cold ones back, and then, of course, The Rock. And he also announced official host of WrestleMania 30.
Yep.
So...
I think that's a good idea. I don't think anybody else brings it back around full circle like Hulk Hogan could.
Exactly.
And he's iconic. I mean, people who don't know anything about wrestling know Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So
That's because they all saw No Holds Barred.
He is a walking cartoon.
Yeah.
He is bright. He is colorful. He still has the look where you don't feel bad for him.
he's the character.
He's
Like,
the
he's
character.
the ultimate character.
With the regalia on, he can still pull off the pythons.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
He's got, and once you do the mustache, the sunglasses, and the do-rag and the T-shirt, you're Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So it's a great choice.
And luckily, hosting, he doesn't have to take any of that off.
No,
So
Yes.
you can keep up the imagination that it is 20, 30 years ago.
we don't need to see the Hulkamania tummy, brother.
I'll tell you what, still in pretty good shape, though.
Oh, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he can physically, as far as cleared medically to get into the ring. I don't know about that, but I think this is the position you need to have him as host.
Sure.
I think it's pretty smart.
And how incredible, 30 years ago was the very first WrestleMania. He was a huge part of it. It was literally the launching point of his career. And here we are 30 years later, and he's still, he's back, and he's prevalent, and he's going to be there.
And taking that into account, I think that says a lot more of how good he looks.
Right.
That was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
He still looks like the Hulkster. So
And to be honest, it's not like people make fun of the fact that he's bald. He was kind of bald 30 years ago.
he was, it was always a very fine line between almost bald.
Right.
Even on that Sports Illustrated cover, it's starting to go. Mm-hmm. So
I think it's just amazing. And I didn't really see it coming up until a few weeks ago. I was very surprised, but it's just...
I mean, it was rumored, but, you can only fill but so much hope into that rumor mill. So it's really cool to see him back, and I think it is great for the network. It's great for everything.
Things are shaping up. We got Hogan back.
Mm-hmm.
We have an Undertaker back.
Yes.
We just need a certain guy
Spoiler alert.
from Chicago to just...
to round out everything.
They were chanting it tonight.
Oh, they will. Oh, just wait till next Monday in Chicago.
Oh, boy.
Next Monday is going to be a melee.
Yeah.
It's going anytime that you
Jesus.
see an Orton come out or any unsavories that the fans are not enthused with, you're going to get bombarded with CM Punk chants, especially in Chicago, an unforgiving wrestling audience.
And I don't know what kind of wrestling fan Aaron Paul is. I hope he can improv. I hope he can yes and, because they're going to CM Punk chant him out of the ring.
Yeah.
So
CM
I
Punk,
think that Aaron
bitch.
Paul is one of the few people that they would not get mad about seeing.
I do wonder if they added him because of Punk's absence, though. I mean, it does seem odd that it's at that particular one. I mean, I guess they had Betty White in L.A., but is Aaron Paul filming in Chicago?
Is he from Chicago? I don't know.
I mean,
from
he has this
Chicago?
movie coming out in a couple weeks, so I think that he's
just
on
doing
there
the
to
PR.
promote. Yeah.
Movie promo, yeah.
But I'm telling you, that crowd, it doesn't matter who gets in the ring. It's going to be CM Punk chants nonstop all night.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless he shows up, well, then it'll continue, but at least everyone will be happy.
At least it'll be the right place to be doing it.
It's a big question. Is he going to show up? Or is CM Punk, the human being, that person, going to sit at home in his Wicker Park apartment and watch it on television as a big
just
F you
laugh.
and enjoy all the attention and all the suffering that the WWE company is going to have to go through with the chance?
Sadly, I'm leaning towards the latter.
Yeah. We'll be lucky if we get him back for WrestleMania. I do not think he's coming back for Raw.
I think he's really stubborn.
He's pouting, but what is he holding out for? Do you know contractually if he wants anything?
I don't know.
Is this just a statement that he's going to...
I mean, I was listening to Stone Cold this week, and he talked about how, he regrets walking out. Was 2002-ish when he walked out. He's like, I sat home for 6 to 8 months until I finally met Vince in a hotel, and either I was going to go out the window or he was going to go out the window, or we were going to come to an agreement. And we came to an agreement. He said, I lost a lot of money. The company lost a lot of money. I lost a lot of heat. He's like, I acted off the cuff. I wasn't happy about it, and he's like, he's like, Vader gave me the advice of always let a cooler head prevail, and he's like, I didn't listen that time, and it was a mistake. He's like, so my advice to him would be to cool off for a little bit, but come back for WrestleMania. But that's a totally different situation, different year, different time, different guys. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
In this reality era, you can't say that it doesn't make things interesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
what do we have to talk about if we can't talk about whether CM Punk is going to come back or not? That's a great point of contention.
That's all it's missing to make WrestleMania 30 one of the best ever, possibly.
Right. I mean,
you think it all hinges on Punk?
No, I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm excited for it anyway. But if you add Punk into the mix, because right now we have Orton and Batista. We all know nobody wants to see that.
Right.
That's not the main event.
No.
Sure, if you put Punk in that match, I think that it would really change the crowd entirely.
What
sure.
What other match would he be in right now at this point? Everything else is getting kind of settled.
Yeah.
I think it would be a nice gesture on everyone's part to have Punk come back, face Batista, and defeat him. Let's just do that. We'll all squash it. We'll get back to business.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Shake hands.
Sure.
I mean, he said that him and Batista are friends. I mean, he said that in a couple of interviews before, or as Batista came back. I forget what Comic-Con he was at, some kind of one of those. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's personally against Batista. I think it's just... I mean, there's a lot of rumors.
It's a slow. It's like what's the mountain becomes a molehill? It was one of those things.
Yeah.
Or wait.
Straw for the camelback thing.
Yeah, thank you. The camelback.
It's a heightened form.
Favorite dance move.
It's a heightened form of a television program. But at the end of the day, we have to remember that it is a scripted television program with stunts.
Yep.
Primarily being the plot focus are the stunts.
Yeah.
So if you just look at it as a television program, you bring back an actor, and now one of the actors walks off and decides that I don't want to be involved on this show anymore because someone left. It's the same exact thing.
It really
when
is.
you think of it that way, it's just a job, it's a business, and there's a check to be made. And if you don't want to make it, then
somebody else will.
I guess you're really just putting it upon the fans to not enjoy your presence anymore, and
Which sucks.
Which sucks.
But there are also so many people who would do that, and it would make no waves at all.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
So,
hey, if this is a pull off, if they can pull this off and actually have that he does come back, and maybe this was slightly
that'd be
planned.
almost a bigger moneymaker than him not leaving at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we can only time will tell kind of situation, but I really hope we see him back.
Well, if we see him back, can he please go back to the slick-backed hair and the beard? Because whatever
You
he's
like
got,
that?
it does not work for me. He looks like a little fifth-grade boy who just kind of got out of bed, threw on a hoodie.
Well, maybe
and
he's
went
just growing it out. That's what he's like. I gotta grow this out.
He doesn't look cool. I want him to look cooler
The
than me.
disheveled Wolverine look.
I like that better than like Christian's. He looks like a little 5-year-old to me. Christian has that like.
He has a very remedial haircut.
Yeah.
It's not a superstar haircut.
Not digging
It looks like he colored his hair with his tanner. That's kind of what he is.
Punk with the short trimmed beard with the slick back hair, and then remember in the middle of the match he'd start to get the little bits of hair that had come
Tendril.
down. It looks so hot.
You sound like a schoolgirl right now. Like just
It
really
looks good.
Yeah,
it looks
yeah.
sexy, and it's sex appeal to it, and that's what we're selling.
Well,
CM Punk sex appeal.
perfect way to end the CM Punk segment that we didn't plan, but you know what? But you have to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I know everyone listening and watching probably agrees that it's a topic that has to be talked about with Raw coming to Chicago. So, which we'll hit up next week for sure.
Yeah.
So Hulk Hogan puts over the network. He is the host of WrestleMania 30. Of course, an advertisement, if you will, for the network. First match of the night. By the way, the matches tonight, phenomenal overall.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Really good.
Yeah, really good. First one, Alberto Del Rio versus Batista in a rematch from the Elimination Chamber. A rematch that I don't know.
Did anyone ask to see?
No.
They didn't want to see the first match.
That's true. But man, did I enjoy the way the audience reacts to Bautista. I accidentally called him Bautista.
I mean,
Oh my God, there's a Bautista sign right there.
he points him out now as he comes out. That's the second or third time I've seen him be like, man.
That's all you can do. Embrace it.
Yeah.
Embrace it.
What are you gonna do? I mean, ADR, does that dive out of the ring, feet first. The
that was
crowd. What about they're trading blows? The crowd booing at every single Batista strike, cheering every ADR punch.
When was the last time ADR got a cheer?
Actually, do we count cheers for Rodriguez?
No.
Because they would cheer for him.
Right.
ADR has gotten a bit vanilla.
stale.
Yeah.
His body's not like ripped. He doesn't have that presence. He doesn't have the car anymore. The car, man, the car was great.
He doesn't have the
He doesn't.
Ricardo anymore.
Ricardo is amazing.
Yeah.
Barely got that scarf on.
Yeah.
Barely.
The car or the Ricard.
Yeah, now ADR basically comes out in civilian clothes from the Gap. You know, in any sort of promo.
Well, we're in a recession. Sometimes you got to save.
Sometimes you got to step into the Gap.
Yeah.
Oh, you just want him to be that villain. You want that classic ADR.
Yeah. I don't know. It's too bad, but I mean, at least this is giving him some kind of heat, even though it's just anti-Batista heat.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, he did get the W because as Batista's setting up for the Batista bomb, Orton's music hits, distracts Batista. ADR with the roll-up for the big W.
Yeah.
Or is it? I don't know. But Orton hits the ramp, of course, and he says, Alberto winning was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Also funny, and I love how he does this, calls it out. Says what's funny is how the WWE Universe has reacted to your return. He goes, they don't like you and have been booing the hell out of you, and I don't doubt that you regret coming back. And then followed by CM Punk chants. Like, everything in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Batista made me like Orton, which hasn't ever happened.
You kind of find Randy Orton a little bit sexual assaulty generally, don't you?
Yeah.
He is a little sexual assaulty.
Yep.
I mean, he got a little sexually assaulty just with his eyes on Cathy when we were there.
He took a look at
He undressed her.
took a look
I'm
at
pretty
Cathy.
sure he undressed her.
Regardless of that.
Yeah, she had this feeling before that happened.
Yeah.
I had to point it out to her. She didn't even notice. I probably shouldn't have pointed it out to her.
He gave you the roofie eyes.
She is drinking something.
I'm gonna roofie you with my eyeballs.
Can I get you a brownie? They make you thirsty. So, yeah.
But Batista did embrace it.
Yeah, I mean, I like what he said, kind of. He's like, you
It
know.
almost seemed like he was hurt, like, by the fans' reaction to him.
He seems upset.
Like, genuinely upset. And I don't know, is this something where, like, we've heard before where the WWE has to completely change their storyline and make someone a heel if that's how the fans are reacting.
Right.
And I guess it just depends on how long he's going to be around.
Yeah.
And how long his storyline's going to be.
And my thinking is, I don't know the specifics. I don't even think they've ever said how long he's going to be around, right? Have they even
haven't.
mentioned that? So I wonder though with this Marvel movie,
When's the
is it
release
like
date?
August?
Well, when Chavo was on AfterBuzz, Chavo Guerrero, he said that he didn't think that Batista was going to be on that long.
Right.
He didn't think that he would ever have a shot at the title. So
Obviously, I mean, things can change all the time, but I just wonder if Marvel would even allow him to be a heel if he's playing one of the good guys in the movie. Like, is that even that might be a stipulation of some kind?
I mean, is that going to affect whether or not people see the movie, though? Jeez.
Sure, but I would assume that's in a contract.
You got to be a good guy.
You got to be a good guy.
So then they have to figure out how to make him a good guy. And that's just...
Good luck.
I mean, this was at least like a step in the right direction of actually addressing the issue.
It was addressing it, but he did it the wrong way. He said, you know, if the WWE
If they cheer
universe
me,
boos me,
I
I'm
cheer
going to
back.
boo them too.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
if they boo me, I'm still going to love them because I know at the end of the day, like, these are what makes my life possible, what makes my job possible, and that's what
And
he
he's
should
never
do.
really dealt with this before because when he was a heel, you expect boos. And remember when he left last
give me my
time?
damn light.
Right.
Yeah.
So he expected it. But this, I almost kind of see that he's shaken by it. Like he's not comfortable talking on the microphone.
Yeah.
Even tonight, it wasn't smooth, really.
I think that he
feels
changed
bad.
up what he was going to say, or it sounded like he changed up what he was supposed to say.
Yeah. He looks
Live.
hurt. Like, even when he gets up on the corner of the ring, and there was something about his facial expression that he looked like,
Confidence.
come on, guys.
Confidence is shot, and you can definitely see that it's affecting him. And I think he is right on that cusp, and I thought he was tonight, of breaking script, breaking character, and just having a full-on meltdown where it's just, why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this? I came back, okay, you used to like me, and now you don't, and no one makes fun of me, and no one wants to hang out with Tista anymore. Tista's sick of this. Dave is not going to come out anymore. Tista. Tista's so sad.
I'm telling you.
I feel bad for him.
I do feel
too.
bad
I
for
know
him.
what it feels like to be on stage as a stand-up comedian and
yeah.
get nothing. I'd rather get a boo or a cheer.
Yes.
Either one, fine.
Apathy is the
But
worst.
please don't just sit there and stare at me and then once in a while tell me to get off the stage.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
I feel like you would get booed all the
during
time.
your set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
My favorite remark is the best apathy remark I ever heard from a crowd is I was in the middle of something like a setup and someone just goes, "Yeah, whatever, man." I'm like, "What?" Total apathy.
Go get some nachos.
Man, it's hot in here.
But he did say, "I love this business." I mean, he did try to get that train going, you know, and they booed him when he said it. But
They boo Cena when he says it too.
exactly. But at least
With
he's.
Cena, I feel like he knows how to, or he's learned after so many boos, he knows how to talk his way out of it almost, and
Yeah.
he still gets a lot of people who like him.
We got
Right.
a comment here from Marcin Gulick saying Animal Unchained on SmackDown will be a heel turn. Maybe.
Mabs.
Possibly.
It's like anything else. What he needs is a rock solid promo that he comes out, delivers without any flubs.
Good luck.
I mean, someone's got to help him write it.
Can we dub The Rock's
A rock
voice?
solid.
Was that a double entendre?
You know, Cena is a master of it, of flipping audiences who don't want to be flipped.
Bring Daniel Bryan into it. That's what Cena always does.
Cena, come on. Cena needs to just take old Tista out for some coffee, rap about it, you know, take out a scratch pad, get some notes down, do a couple run-throughs backstage.
Right, sure.
Get all those flips and things on the fly, coached two
But it's
Tistas,
like,
so
people
Tista
hate
can do it
Orton.
properly.
You should have this in the bag.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing.
The problem is it's so sad.
Well, they've got like 6 weeks. I mean, it's enough time to make something happen, whether that something be CM Punk in the match or that something just make people get into Batista or super anti-Batista, whatever the case may be. They're both right now kind of down the middle where they don't love Orton, they don't love Batista. You got to find somebody to get behind, or else it's going to be another Goldberg, Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 20 situation.
Or it could be as apathetic as Cena Orton was at the Rumble. No one cared.
Right. But also, I have to say that I don't dislike Batista.
Me neither.
Me neither.
I do not dislike him. I like him, and I think that they need to do more moments where he is just a mechanism of destruction.
Yeah.
He comes out, power bombs someone through a table, walks out. There's no time for a chant to get started. It feeds the audience something that no one can dislike, whether you like him or not. Everyone loves a power bomb through a table, and then he walks off and he's done.
Yeah. Raw 2 weeks ago was kind of the perfect way to use Batista.
I just feel like the coming in that close to WrestleMania, just a few months before, you have to have a really, really solid storyline, or else it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And also, he had a little bit of ring rust when he came, and I think that just added fuel to the fire.
Little bit.
Where
he was gassed walking to the ring.
I don't know if it was that bad, but it was obvious on him that he hadn't been in a ring in a while.
He is also not the shocking behemoth that he was before.
No.
He's cut down to UFC.
Well,
I mean, he's still a massive man. It's funny that that's
massive, but it's not almost like super. It's not supernatural.
We got to
like
remember,
it was
he's
before.
not exactly a spring chicken either, so it's kind of hard to stay at that kind of size.
I mean, he looks good.
Oh,
Not gonna
absolutely.
he
dispute
looks
that.
cut, but
Looks
yeah,
cut.
he's not as swole as he used to be, I guess.
No.
It's going to be interesting to see. We'll see what happens on SmackDown, Animal Unchained. Next match, Big E versus Cesaro. Non-title match, but
Whoa.
damn. Just a...
Strongman versus strongman.
Here comes Big Etor.
Yeah, right?
Tour.
Let's just... Oh, yeah, was this
Big
the match?
Igor.
Oh, yeah.
Big Igor, or
Big Eeyore.
Yeah, no one knew Winnie the Pooh. No one at that table.
Here was the exchange. One of them said, I think,
What's E
I think it
stand
was
for?
JBL said, "What does E stand for?" And then Cole said, "His name." And then JBL said, "Well, what's his name?" And then he said, "Big E," which gets into a whole who's on first Evan Costello thing. And then they called him Etor, which was an Eeyore joke, which someone just misremembered Eeyore's name. And they called him Igor. They said it might stand for elephant.
yeah, they have no other E words they can think of for
And then,
elephant.
3 matches later, they're still making Winnie the Pooh references and going back to that joke because it was such a natural, beautiful moment.
Oh, it really was.
It was
so
like
funny.
that one night when they just talked about skippets the entire night.
I think that actually went off better than this particular. At least they remembered what Skip It was called. This one, they were like, Eagulator. That's a thing? Yeah? I don't know. It was messy.
Well, Winnie the Pooh was stupid. He's a bear who didn't wear pants.
I never watched Winnie the Pooh, Michael.
Get your hand out that jar, son.
Oh, boy. But this match was phenomenal. I mean, Cesaro hitting the tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, just Big E gorilla pressing him. And then, Jesus, there's so many just, when he slammed into the ring post, looked painful.
Oh my gosh.
He got the massive uppercut. We thought it was great when he did it to Cena. He gets Big E into the big uppercut, and then the Cesaro swing.
The Cesaro swing
Jesus.
was ridiculous.
Yeah, it came so late in the match, too.
It looks so good when the guys have their arms out as opposed to tucking their head in. Like, when it's out, it just looks that much scarier.
Yeah.
They look out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is like a very, like, I'm obviously supposed to do
protect
this or
myself,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. And then the match, the beautiful match we're watching, had to be ruined by a wah-wah moment by Jack Swagger. He's like, his ankle looks like it needs locking, and he just runs in the ring.
Because that worked so well last night.
Yeah, just throws him in the... When he, after the Cesaro swing, when Big E is down and out, that's when he jumps in the ring and ankle locks him.
Yeah. Well, it is the beginning of the end of the... it's the parting of the ways between Jack Swagger and Cesaro.
I want the
who
big
does
Haas jacket.
not need him anymore.
Nope.
Spray tan fumes going to the brain.
He's just gonna destroy him at some point. Swagger will intervene too much, and those two will fight, and that'll be it. And then where's Jack Swagger gonna go? Probably go hang out with Zack Ryder somewhere.
Well, but the problem is that if you're gonna stick the real American gimmick to one of those two guys, it's Swagger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means Swagger would keep Zeb, and then Cesaro.
He needs Zeb.
He needs Zeb.
Cesaro doesn't.
Cesaro doesn't.
Needs a mouthpiece.
What's crazy is it looks like they're never going to get that title run.
No. That's okay, though. I feel like they've kind of already moved past it.
I mean,
guess.
when we accidentally thought that tonight was a title shot for Cesaro, I was so behind it. As much as I love Big E, I want to see Cesaro with a title.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think that very well could happen. I think that's why.
Well, he was
lost
already the
so-
U.S. champ at SummerSlam,
Yeah.
like
Sure.
two SummerSlams ago or whatever.
Yeah, but he wasn't the Cesaro that we're seeing now. He was,
No.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how that ended. You know, real Americans kind of fighting it out in the ring a little bit, kind of arguing. Like, you know, Cesaro, what'd you do? He's like, I'm sorry. And Zeb, I think, was that when JBL Lawler said he's going to yell his mustache off at him?
yeah, his mustache off. Yeah, the feats of strength that happened in this match, though. I mean, I could see another Big E Cesaro on SmackDown or next week, whatever they got. I'll take it.
He hit him with a pretty rough neutralizer. Big E decides to attack Swagger. Cesaro defends him, neutralizer kind of on his shoulder. Hopefully that was okay.
Ooh,
We never got a replay of that either.
No.
it
never.
looked messy.
It wasn't pretty.
It was the ending spot for the match, and we never saw it again. That means it looked bad.
Right. Everything else looked amazing. So, yay. You know, you get one mistake.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm just saying, it might have still looked amazing, but I think it looked dangerous and scary. So
He's a big dude, man. That's a hard neutralizer.
apparently,
What?
E stands for Ettore, which is his real name.
That's his real name, yeah.
Ettore. So he wasn't incorrect this whole time.
Well, no, they...
It was close.
Imagine.
He just
if
didn't
you
know.
You looked it up on the internet.
Yeah.
Imagine we could have done that. Kathy, you were
They
a
had
genius.
a laptop and an iPad right in front of them.
It was already pre-filled with the network,
The
so
fact
they
that
couldn't.
who names a donkey Igor? That's just the thing that gets me.
They don't know what they're saying
Franken
sometimes.
donkey.
It's already a character. They're not going to rename. It's Disney.
Now, granted, it is hard to call live matches, which I experience all the time. There are Freudian slips here and there.
And they don't
Sure.
have teleprompters or anything going on.
true.
So
No.
this is all
Sometimes you just can't think of Eeyore.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get
They
Igor.
got close. One letter off.
Yeah.
Well, two letters off. I think it's E-O-R.
So do you think that this is where they're taking... I'm sorry, that this match would be where they're taking Cesaro for WrestleMania? Do you think we're seeing Swagger and Cesaro at Mania?
What else are they going to do with him? He's not going to wrestle for the heavyweight title. He's...
That's kind of a toss-away match, and it's not going to be great
Well,
to
who's
watch
Big E's-
Swagger.
I mean, unless it's a triple threat.
Who's Big E got? Could be triple threat for the IC title.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And that could be the coronation of Cesaro. Once
You
again.
always pull out triple threats like that's ever gonna happen.
But what if another guy gets in the match?
You're
You're like the
in
Teddy
your mind,
Long of
there's
this
3
show.
triple threat matches in WrestleMania right now. So
I would take a 4-person match if that's also available.
That's actually a good. That's good for Big E and Cesaro.
Yeah.
I think so.
Maybe you let Big E keep the strap.
Right.
Swagger intervenes again. That's where you get that break, and
Yeah.
then you give the strap to Cesaro at
Could be.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Dale's like the Teddy Long of this show.
Doesn't
We're gonna have a tag team match. Holla, holla, holla.
But Cesaro, as a breaking talent right now, he feels more SummerSlammy to me than WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like a Ziggler feels more of a SummerSlam guy than a WrestleMania guy.
Ziggler had a weird tweet today. He said he was like taking a, I don't know. It was like a joke, but it was like it's like I'll have to look it up. It was basically like taking a poop. That he was like taking a break. Like, this is what I say to my girlfriends when my wife finds my cell phone or something like that. I'm taking a break. Or something
the toilet stopper?
So I don't know if that was like cryptic. I'm not going to be on Raw for a while, or if he was just being his comedian self.
I mean, he won on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, we did not see him tonight.
More swagger.
Just like I told all my girlfriends when my wife found my phone, or my...
Wow, you're doing great,
What?
Kathy.
No, look at this. This is bad English. Just like I told all my girlfriends when my wife found out...
My phone's passcode. I'm going to have to take a break. Later marks, hashtag later marks, hashtag Raw.
There's an extra my in there, though.
Yeah, he just wrote it wrong.
He meant, I think, take a break from being on Twitter during Raw, like live tweeting. He probably just got tired of the comments.
Later marks, yeah.
Well, either way, more Ziggler, please.
Sure.
It was like how I tweeted
Cesaro?
about pizza today, and everyone asked me if I watched the network yet.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah, I don't know. I just would like to see some kind of big man match. I just always, like, you know what it is? I wish they would bring the frickin' briefcase match back to Mania.
Sure.
That's, because it always gave a chance to have a big group of guys that don't have a storyline, but they get to be in Mania, and then it gives them a goal to fight for something. I don't know.
Yep.
Just wish that could happen.
We will see. Next up, John Cena hitting the ring. Says the future is now. If anyone thinks they're going to take the WWE next generation, the future of the business will run through him. And then he talks about Bray Wyatt, asking if he's a one-trick pony or if he's ready to make another bold move. And that's when Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family, they hit that ring.
They run through his knee.
They do.
Basically.
After Bray Wyatt says a couple of things, talking, calling John Cena a hero and the knight in shining armor to save the day. And he's like, people like you, John, you're full of empty promises. Everything will be all right as long as you're around.
Don't encourage him.
You're a liar.
Pretty good.
This is a terrible world. You're hollow, but I'm real. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Bray Wyatt. We are the Reapers that bring death to this era of lies. And that's when John Cena calls him Jack and tells him to get in the ring. They attack, and that's when his knee goes out, and we get a little scared.
You know when John Cena calls someone Jack, he means business.
That's right, Jack. Come on. He watches a lot of Richard Pryor stand-up prior to hitting the ring.
Yeah.
Come on, Jack.
That's where John Cena turns into a black 1960s street drug dealer. You know, like...
Oh, you mean his old character that he's...
Pretty much.
You make that move. It's time to go, Jack. But yeah, his knee...
it didn't look good. I mean, the fact he was giving too many signals to the ref.
But they called it out maybe 2-3 minutes later on commentary, so I feel like it could have been
I don't know.
Fake.
I feel like they would have sold it more. They didn't really attack his knee that much. It just kind of happened, and then they left it alone. And then also, you don't see Cena go out on a, what's that called? Not a gurney, but like
ambulance.
Ambulance.
Well, he could do an ambulance, but
ambulance, Jack.
To leave on the stretcher from the ring. I mean, he normally is the guy that walks out of the ring if at all possible.
Gimping.
So
yeah. Like, hey, look, I
got
do it
this.
myself.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
Myself.
It just felt a little too real to me.
I just feel like since I don't know, Daniel Bryan had his shoulder hurt last week, and this I feel like they're kind of doing all of that on
beating the baby faces up a little bit.
Yeah.
But why not sell it? If it was part of the story, why not have somebody actually attack his knee? Because all they really did was lift it up.
To make you wonder whether it's fake or not.
That's a good point.
To Cena's credit, he kept trying to attack on a bum knee.
Yeah.
Just kept diving after him.
Right. You see that?
I dug that.
The injury happens. Okay, then we go back and they have to find the moment where it happens, which would say, if this wasn't wrestling, that it was real.
Right.
But maybe your point that it was actually faked, and this made it look more real for us to talk about it right now.
I mean, regardless, even if it is a real injury, it is John Cena. It will heal in about 3.5 days.
Well, he already healed.
Yeah.
They dislocated it, and then he located it.
Yeah, he good.
You also see them all get out of the ring, and Cena gimps to the middle of the ring and then takes a nasty elbow from Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, right.
Which was that called from ringside, or did Cena somehow tell them like, look, let's finish this? They just knew to do that.
If his knee was really hurt and he's like, hey, kick me a little bit more, good on him for doing that.
It looked like a good on him to me. I would expect.
I think so too. He gave a very pained-looking thumbs up to somebody outside of the ring that I don't think we were supposed to see.
I could see him doing that, and I could see them back off because Cena was off to the side, and then when Cena went into the center of the ring, that means that they know.
Yeah.
All right, let's go home this way.
Yeah, man. I really, really hope that it is not a real injury, because the way he was limping on that knee, he made it look like a ligament was gone.
It's bad.
That the way he was limping, the way he was favoring it, that looks like the way someone reacts after an ACL goes.
But he could walk.
Well, no, people can. A lot of times, people can walk on an ACL tear.
Like with Kobe.
Yeah,
he barely could walk.
That was Achilles.
That was Achilles.
Achilles is way worse than ACL. When the Achilles tears, you can't put any pressure on your foot.
That's what happened to Edge that one time. Remember, he was gone for like a year and some change.
Yeah, exactly. But with an ACL tear, you still have your PCL, you still have your MCL, LCL, kind of keeping your knee a little bit stable. With the ACL, you can't really do much on it, but you could hobble around for the first few minutes, although it hurts. And
but if it was just hyperextended, then it's not as serious.
Yeah, let's hope that it's just you know.
If it's hyperextended, he did a little bit of cartilage damage, but hopefully wouldn't need anything more than a scope. And the way people respond to scopes now, you can get back in within 3 to 4 weeks, easy.
And for Cena, that means 1.5 weeks.
Yeah, probably. He'll be back.
Prayer for John Cena, Jack.
Yeah, exactly. So, best wishes. Let's hope you're not hurt. No, we said Cesaro and Big E was a great match. Dare I say Sheamus and Christian even topped that one. This match was really good.
Two people I have no interest in. Great match.
Yeah.
It was.
Really enjoyed it.
Sheamus was a beast in this match, I felt.
And funny commentary from our friends at ringside.
Yep.
And let's not forget what set up the match.
Spray tan.
There is still a general manager of Raw.
Oh yeah, I saw that guy.
Yeah.
He stopped by.
He made a match.
Good old BM.
Yeah, old Beezer. B-Meezer. Brad Maddox.
He stopped by in his little Dale vest.
Yeah.
That's right. he barely fits in his.
Someone
It's fitted.
little cowboy.
It's quite fitted.
Made his first match of, I believe, 2014. So good on him.
Well, Kane was busy getting his ring gear on, so
Sure.
he couldn't make the call for him.
Kane had to take his dress shirt off and his elbow pads.
What's that? I'm busy.
Yeah. I'm unbuttoning. Go make the match. But he did. He did. I love that. I'm like, oh, we still have let's keep up with the facade that Brad Maddox has any decision-making power.
Yeah,
all right,
sure.
let's do this.
And he was like, "This is official," and he was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, it's still official if I say
This
it.
is official. He looked around.
Unless you see the authority.
Yeah, I think so.
Just go now. Just go now.
Just go.
Yeah, BM still got it.
I deserve catering.
What a cupcake.
So yeah, Christian still. I know you guys aren't big on him at this point, but man, he can still go, bro. Like he had some great moments in this match. The shoulder block to the outside, then to the top rope. Sheamus locks him in the clover leaf, goes for the white noise. Christian gets the roll up. Incredible finish where we rewound it like 3 times. Christian hits the top rope, jumps off. Sheamus broke kicks him for the win.
Oof.
Whoa.
That was executed so well.
Every single angle, it looked great.
Yeah.
That was a nice thing.
That was ultimate professionalism. That was sold so well.
Yeah.
Even
that
when we
you couldn't
paused it
see
and watched it, we're like, that's just
to
perfection.
come up with that, it looked, yeah. I really liked as well when Sheamus, Christian was outside the ring, like right on the pole, and they were like holding hands or holding legs or something, and then Sheamus just pulls him
into the face,
and he hits his face right into the pole.
Yeah.
That looked good too.
Just unbelievable. Oh yeah, that was a great spot.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a really good match. I definitely didn't expect it to be.
They put a lot of thought into it, clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, every big match Christian's in, he brings it. I mean, last night, fantastic in the chamber.
But it's never a question of his in-ring ability.
Sure.
I don't think that's the issue. I just think that Christian hasn't had. If I hear, one more match is like dead in the water at this point, and he
Right.
still like tries to carry that on. I just feel like they need to give him something, and by something I mean freaking anything at this point as far as character because he's just kind of there.
Yeah, and he's been that way for years. I want him to go full heel. I think that Christian is better as a nasty, mean guy.
And he's the kind of dude that I think would benefit from...
He has that
dyeing his hair.
No, that happens.
A different color.
Him and Brock Lesnar, same color.
His whole body was the same color. His hair and his body. We noticed how it must have been spray tan day in the locker room because so many of them were freshly fake baked, freshly orange.
It was
maybe he's been eating too many peeps.
Could be.
He's starting to look like a peep.
Yeah.
I think he would benefit from. I don't want to say a valet, but I think he would benefit from like almost like a small crew of people, like followers, that would help him big time heelish.
But he's. Yeah, he would have to be a follower in my book. I don't Christian. I don't think that he's.
But he's kind of too old to follow.
Yeah. More like
a veteran.
Maybe he needs like a mentee.
Yeah.
Or something that he helps guide, and then they also help boost his. Like they give him something fresh.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. I think that's.
I mean, I don't think anything's going to happen in time for WrestleMania. I don't know if he's going to be part of it.
He's just not big enough. I mean, I don't mean size-wise. I just mean character-wise. He's not. He's not anything.
He has no gimmick. Even the way his presentation is, his pants and the T-shirt he has on, it's just all a big disaster.
What was the joke last week? He needs an edge.
He needs an edge.
Yes.
He needs an edge.
Yeah,
edge.
Mr. Belding actually said that last week. Accidentally, he's like, Christian just needs an edge. We're like, giggity.
But they ripped on him. Like Jamie Cole, they all just across the board took shots at Peep Show. Well, it's the Peep Show.
He's an unhealthy.
Beat him up the whole time, which was hilarious. JBL said Christian is yellow or red or green, whatever it is. It's unhealthy. It's some Canadian color.
Yeah,
he looks like the kid from the Charles Atlas ad that gets sand kicked in his face.
Wow.
And these were just two little comments, but they constantly are taking shots at Christian because he is just wide open for them.
It just makes you wonder. I mean, what does Sheamus have for WrestleMania either? I mean,
at least he has better potential. I mean,
sure.
Sheamus has still just come back, so I think they could build a program easily with him. I just hope it's not related to
Christian. And fans
Christian.
are behind him as well.
Yeah.
So.
Sheamus's match is going to be against a Funkasaurus wrestling buddy.
That's
all right.
That's a lot of bro kicks you can get in on the wrestling buddy.
Yeah. It's going to be one ad for wrestling buddies.
Moving on, we had a flashback to earlier tonight. Renee Young is back with Triple H and Stephanie as they arrive out of their limousine. She asks about the network. Of course, they get into that. But then Daniel Bryan confronts them. By that, I mean screams at them.
He was aggressive.
It was awesome. He's like, you've been holding me back for months and months. I will fight you at WrestleMania. And Triple H just chuckles. And he says, remember our little conversation we had? Remember A-plus players? Look, buddy, I'll try to find you a spot in the card.
It's so great. And so awful.
So just go. Just what are you doing?
It's like dismissing a fan, basically.
Yeah, unbelievable. He's like, by the way, tonight, you're wrestling Kane. Just worry about that. WrestleMania.
It looked real, though. I liked how it was shot and everything, and Renee's mic still in the shot, trying to get it like a reporter would, and it was just, I don't know, I thought that it was very well done.
It's very, very Rudy-esque also. Like, come on, just let me play.
And it's also the way Triple H feels.
You know he's good enough.
Yeah.
And the stupid jerk coach won't put him in the game.
It felt real.
Well, it's also
because sad for him.
Because that's how Triple H really feels. So it's like,
I mean,
it's kind of real.
I don't necessarily want that to be the match that Bryan is in, but I think by the end of Raw tonight, with this segment and then Bryan's little speech later, I feel
they made the fans want it.
Yeah.
How about
because
this?
Bryan was the one that kind of,
We have Triple H versus WrestleMania. I'm sorry, versus
Triple H versus
that would be awesome.
We have Daniel Bryan versus Triple H at WrestleMania 30. Could it become some kind of a stipulation? Like, if I beat you, I get to move on to the championship match and make it a triple threat. That would make everything phenomenal. That way, we love Batista and Randy Orton because it's a triple threat. And that way, Daniel Bryan's all beat up. Say he beats Triple H, gets the crap beat out of him by Kane, whatever, yet he still has to go into the championship match, and then he perseveres. I don't know if I'm writing something that isn't going to happen.
That would be cool.
But man, tell me that wouldn't be a pleasant surprise. Or maybe they'll set it up beforehand. Maybe they won't. I don't know.
I mean, I'm all for a triple threat, obviously, but
Always up for a triple threat.
but I think it would be even cooler if he wins WrestleMania, then he gets to wrestle for the title at whatever follows. Is it Extreme Rules still?
I don't know. I forget.
I think so. But yeah, I mean, something where something more is on the line, where it actually gets him into the title picture.
What if Shane O'Mac comes back to help him out? Come on now.
How long this storyline has been going on, though.
Yeah.
How long can they drag it out, though?
Oh, yeah.
How long can we take this all the way to SummerSlam?
We remember 6 months ago, we said at SummerSlam, well, there's no way they can keep Daniel Bryan chasing all the way to WrestleMania. We're like, oh, no, they are, and they have.
Well, if he wants to do his yes thing, let's just take it all the way to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at this point you run the...
Good impersonation.
They're probably fearful, like, okay, so if they do give the fans what they want, how long... Does Daniel Bryan pewter out at that point?
Yeah.
Because it's kind of this, like, we want what we can't have kind of thing, I feel, a lot of times.
That's the thing.
That's the scary question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we keep juicing this? Or do the fans still love him?
They did not love that Bray Wyatt situation. They were just confused for that 3 weeks or whatever.
They tried it, didn't work, so they moved on.
Yeah.
People liked Punk. People were still on board with Punk when he had the strap.
I would say that CM Punk leaving actually made Daniel Bryan's quest for the title a little bit less in my mind. Like, I felt like that was the most important thing in the WWE universe for so long, and now CM Punk leaving, like, that's almost even bigger. It overshadows it a little bit.
Well, I kind of disagree with you. Nothing's bigger than Daniel Bryan right now. Those yes chants were going whether Punk was there or not.
It's insanely powerful. He has a lot of power.
I mean, everyone's talking about Punk, but that's not stopping Bryan's momentum.
Oh, no, it's not at all. I'm just saying if it was at 100%, now it's at like maybe 97.
Sure. Well, also, I think that Bryan is the new man of the people.
Sure.
You know, CM Punk was the man of the people.
He took over
an
that spot
actual
from CM
real
Punk.
dude that is kind of real talk. Daniel Bryan is a bit cartoonish, but for the most part, he's a guy that people can relate to. He's not that much.
And most
bigger.
importantly, he's there. Most importantly, he's there. Where Punk, I guarantee there's some fans out there that are not happy that Punk left, like at him. You know what I mean? So,
but he's the other thing with Daniel is that he gives you your money's worth when you watch him. So if he did have the title, he's going to come out and still get those cheers, because when he hulks up and goes bonkers and bing bangs around the room like a pinball, it's amazing every time. And I think that he's still going to carry that heat.
Yes.
And for me, you know, I just feel like Daniel Bryan actually cares about the business, and Punk, you know, and of course this can be partly character, partly reality, but I never really got the impression that Punk cared too much what was going on in the WWE outside of what involved him directly.
Well, I think he still has a big chip on his shoulder, and justifiably for Daniel Bryan, he could too, because they both had different paths, but they both had long paths in the Indies, working their way up. CM Punk was getting naysayed the entire time in his career until he took the ball, you know, and ran with it himself. And Daniel Bryan has too. It's just that's where they're similar, but then they're different in just their mindsets. Daniel Bryan is staying the course, whereas Punk is just a little more burned out. He has been there longer. Let's not forget that.
Would you like to see Punk come back as a heel?
I don't think that's going to be possible.
I feel like you would have to. Oh, really?
I think it's very possible. I think that the way that CM Punk thinks that's the exact way he would want to do it.
Yeah, come back and be that asshole.
It's a big middle finger to everyone who supported him while he was gone. He wants to be the guy who comes back and gives them the opposite of what they wanted.
I could see it going either way.
I don't think it's impossible.
If he ever comes back.
I don't know
if he comes back.
If he comes back.
I'd
back, right?
think it'd be better for him to come back.
We'll find out. All right, we got to move on. Next up, really great video segment for Black History Month with Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson, a.k.a. the Soul Patrol.
Soul Patrol!
I love it. First ever African-American WWE Tag Team Champions defeating the Wild Samoans. You could just see what I love when you can watch old videos and you could just see the charisma these dudes had, especially Rocky Johnson. Like, you watch him, you're like, oh, now I get it why The Rock was the greatest, most charismatic dude ever to set foot in the ring. Because his dad had that. And luckily he found a Samoan woman to impregnate, and we have the super athlete that is The Rock.
Beautiful man.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Tony Atlas, I mean, just, damn. They didn't test for anything back then.
No, Tony Atlas, scary.
Yeah.
Big, scary dude.
But just a really cool segment just to watch that footage. Congratulations for their careers and everything, and just fun to watch.
Very cool.
Moving on to something else real cool. The Shield back in the boiler room arguing. Where were you last night, Ambrose? He's like, oh, what are you talking about? I was there. Ambrose gets tired of it. He's like, screw you guys, I'm going home. He leaves. The Wyatt family approaches. Roman challenges Bray. He accepts. We now have Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt on top of all the other matches we've already seen tonight. Bam. Next, we have Josh Matthews with Booker T and Ric Flair putting over the few of the matches coming up. They're the pre-show, post-show guys. And, you know, Ric Flair just all pumped up and Booker T always smiling. Pretty good trio right there.
Amazing. Amazing to see Ric Flair. And I made the point that I wish they would just let him drink cold beers on stage.
That is the last thing he needs to be doing.
But do we know his drink of choice? What is it?
I'm not positive.
It seems like a brown liquor to me.
I'm guessing it's something brown and in a glass. But I don't think that a couple domestic Bud Lights are really going to affect Ric Flair at this point. I think he can sip those all night long and still go woo and fumble some words and still be beautiful.
I wouldn't mind seeing him better. Shotgun a couple.
No, you wouldn't. I just picture him slurping them, just like.
Yeah.
Weird.
I don't know. I was at that SummerSlam press conference that he did, and it was just so painful by the end of it. Like,
I'm guessing that was a hair of the dog situation.
It must have been. I don't know. It was bad.
A lot of Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
Good morning.
A lot of Bloody Marys and Angry Vinces.
I just had a V8. Woo! All right, moving on. Daniel Bryan versus Corporate Kane. We talked about this. Kane, wife beater, dress pants, black shoes,
awesome,
elbow pads, badass.
Yeah, he looks like a maniac. He looks like a big jacked dad who had 5 martinis on the way home from work, and he just got fired, and dinner is burnt, and he's going to beat the living hell out of his family. He is terrifying.
He is just one pair of, like, down suspenders away from that ideal 50s.
Yeah.
They're saying he could have possibly, Cena could have possibly dislocated his knee, according to some of our listeners, watchers. So they're saying it possibly was real, could have dislocated his knee. I don't know. Anyways, not to divert, but that's what's going on right now.
Was this Kane's first match since he's been back? Like, proper match? I know he popped into a couple things.
He wrestled Kane. He wrestled Daniel Bryan like last week or 2 weeks ago.
Did he?
But that wasn't planned.
No.
He just got in the ring.
He got in the ring.
I mean, was this his first actual match since he's come back as...
Coming out in that outfit? Absolutely,
Yes,
that's
yes.
the first time.
Okay.
In his Corporate Kane wrestling gear. And I was so excited that they did that.
That can't be comfortable, man.
I know, but last week when it looked so good, it got, and I just was so happy that he was wrestling, he was fighting in that look.
Yeah.
And then they brought him out that way, and they did something right for once, aesthetically, to my fashion senses.
You are sensitive. I remember that about you.
I'm so sensitive. I notice all the clothing choices. I'm very.
You notice the CM Punk thing of hair that goes on his forehead?
I noticed that.
Yeah.
I noticed all those things. I noticed Tista's new panties and his new boots, matching booties. They look cool. The purple and orange on them.
They were WrestleMania 30 colored.
Yep.
Yeah, they was.
So, yeah, that was a fun match. That was great.
It was. Yeah, this match was phenomenal. Daniel Bryan super aggressive, locking in the half crab, flying all over the ring. The knee on the outside does the flying goat. Kane with the choke slam, but Daniel Bryan kicks out, eventually nails the flying knee for the win. But that's when he hits the mic, calls Triple H a coward, I think 2 or 3 times, and then he says he hides behind his wife's skirt. Damn.
Boom.
Girl.
Drops the mic, walks away.
Bam.
Yeah.
It's true, though. I mean, he was kind of stepping behind Stephanie when they were talking earlier.
Yup.
So. Oh, no. I liked it.
Coward.
A lot happened
And it
tonight.
definitely made you want the match more. Like I was saying earlier, this was the rumor, right? Triple H, ever since Punk dropped out, this was the rumor of where Daniel Bryan was going, and I didn't really feel that great about it because it isn't the title match. But
one of you made the point that this was great for the fans because Daniel Bryan called the shot.
Yes.
As opposed to it being forced upon him, he took some power back
He's
and
like,
said, no,
I want to fight you,
I
Triple
want to fight you. You don't get to just beat me up. No, I want it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great.
Well, the crowd by the end of that was chanting for Daniel Bryan, Triple H, I believe.
Well, they were yesing, which they'll do at any point that Daniel Bryan puts his hands in the air. So I don't know if it really means they're into the match, but at least it's getting the gears turning in the right way. I really think, though, we're onto something with this, making the belt be at stake, rather, you know, a chance to wrestle for it at Mania that night or the next night or the pay-per-view, whatever. I think that's a good idea.
I think they're leaving it open. maybe to find out if Punk comes back. And it might be as late as the week before WrestleMania if they're like, well, he ain't coming back now. All right, if you beat me, you wrestle for the title.
And Trips has to wrestle in the same corporate Kane outfit because he's corporate.
Oh, that'd
All
be
corporate
great.
guys have to wrestle in wife beaters and their dress slacks and dress shoes from now on.
You wear those. You better wear those Steve Maddens to the ring, boy.
Yep. Yep.
Next up, Alexander Rusev is he's scary. We got that much, and we're excited to finally see him start doing stuff.
I want to see what this is.
I'm pumped for it.
I'm not scared.
You're not scared?
Really?
I'm not scared.
Huh.
No.
He's a big man.
I've already seen what that is.
I'm gonna need to see it. I have not seen any NXT footage.
Oh.
He's fantastic.
I'm unresearched.
This was kind of Raw is NXT tonight too, because we got so many people from. I mean, the Divas match was 2 girls from NXT. We had Cesaro, who's always down at NXT, versus Big E, who was the former NXT champion.
Yeah.
And then we had the Shield Wyatt thing continue.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I mean, whatever they're doing down in that performance center, they're at least doing it right.
Yeah.
It is working. Definitely working. Speaking of which, we had Summer Rae versus Emma with Santino and Fandango ringside. Summer Rae, I know you mentioned, Mike, she has a really good vicious side to her.
Scary.
Yeah.
She's a mean girl.
I don't
She
want
looks
it.
so good, by the way.
Yeah, she looks.
Girl is fine.
She looks great, and she's terrifying. She's a big mistake. She's just what I call a mistake to get involved with.
I'm telling you,
boy.
Scary. She's gonna have a nice run. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Look,
You're so hot, I can't break up with you.
I can
That's
tell you
what I
this.
was thinking
It's
too.
the worst.
I can tell you that my last girlfriend was a ballroom dancer. They're nuts. Dancers are
There's
crazy.
nothing worse than dating someone who is a psychopath, but they're so hot you can't break up with. And that's exactly what Summer Rae
That
is.
sounds like Chapter 3 in Dad Boner.
Yeah. But I think she's got a long run with that Divas Championship at some point in her future. 'Cause She's the kind of person, not only can she wrestle, she could bring it in the ring, she's got a great character, and she's the kind of person that would resort to any means necessary to win. So I could see that being a nice long run whenever the AJ Lee era is over.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, they obviously love her. They put her in Total Divas. They put her in that movie with The Miz.
The Marine 19.
I think that is what number they're on. Yeah.
They should just start naming them like the naked, like the Marine 33 1/3. Just make it interesting, you know.
I want them to rename Emma She Dango. It's like She Dango. It's like a dance. She's the girl dance one.
You mean Summer Rae?
She's like Santino.
Emma.
Emma is like Santino though.
I know, but she does the dance thing.
She does.
Oh, you mean the hands?
Emma dance?
The Emma dance.
I guess it's a little variation on Fandangoing.
It's a variation.
But
It's a
Fandango
very much so.
doesn't Fandango. Fandango does.
That is correct.
Yeah.
But that's why they did it.
He does what he do.
You know why I don't think it works? You know why it doesn't work in the crowd and it doesn't catch on as strongly?
What doesn't?
Because
Emming?
No, this is
Emming
on at NXT. Everyone does this.
Right.
This
But
was the first time where we really got to see it because
feel
every
like-
other time she's walked out, she's been doing the Santino like booty
Oh, yeah,
shake walk
hurried,
to the ring.
yeah.
So this is the first time where people got to see her entrance and the bubbles and everything.
My
so.
concern is that you're going side to side and
I
you're
don't care
going
about hitting the person next to me. Are you
don't
kidding?
care
That's an
about
added
that.
bonus.
She usually aims for him anyways. She stopped.
Oh, did she?
He's overselling it.
I was selling it.
Yeah, you're.
But Emma lock for the win. Emma pulls off that cool acrobatic bam, that lock, and she gets the win over Summer Rae. I believe, obviously, her first match and her first victory.
By submission. That's pretty cool.
How about that?
The Emma lock, I think, looks really good.
The Emma lock
It
is
does look
cool.
good.
Yeah.
The match could have been a little bit smoother, but the finish was cool.
But a totally strong character. A stronger character than Peep Show has.
Sure enough.
You're just Emma's coming out with a thing.
She's awkwardly delightful.
She's got
Yeah,
a
she
whole
is.
thing. And why can't Peep Show figure out how to match his pants and his T-shirt, and at least have some sort of angle?
He knows how to match his hair to his skin, so you would think. But oh well. No, I really like Emma. I haven't gotten to watch as much NXT as you guys, but I really enamored with her from the moment she got in the ring. I think she is awkwardly delightful. That's a great way to put her.
And she's wrestling this Thursday on the live NXT. She's taking on Paige for the NXT Women's Championship.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
A lot of good
She's
matches
very
in there.
Phoebe from Friends.
she is a little Phoebe. I can see that.
yeah.
She's one cat song away.
Except a little
Hey-o.
less crazy, I think, yeah.
A little less crazy, but we'll see.
She's got a good smile.
Sure she does.
Damn good smile.
She's a cutie pie.
Moving on, Usos taking on the New Age Outlaws in a match that I think lasted about 23 seconds. Road Dogg, I love this. He goes, hey, why don't you guys respect your elders, get out of the ring, and let us do what we do.
After the bell had already rung.
Did it? I
believe so. That's how they got away with this whole situation. Right?
Yeah, that must have happened.
It had to have happened because they kick them and then they win, so it had to have already rung.
Point taken, Dale. But he starts to do the classic New Age Outlaws intro before he even finishes. Bam, Uso super kick. Bam, flying Uso. Bam, suck it, DX chop, splash for the win. How awesome did that look?
That was so clean.
Yeah, dude.
And amazing. The suck it midair with the splash combo was there. It was perfect.
Brilliant.
So much good work,
especially in slow mo. It was. It wasn't like a half.
It was a beauty.
It wasn't a half-ass suck it. It was a full-on.
Yeah,
perfect
plenty of time.
Bang.
Yep.
Right into my crotch.
That's
X,
right.
Right there. X marks the spot for where my genitals are.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. Yeah, we get that.
Victor, that's what they're doing, Dale. When they say suck it,
they mean
here's the X.
Actually, suck it. Oh, and that goes. I see
I want
now.
you to suck it, but I'm letting you know where to do it.
That's the two words they're talking about.
It's weird. I never even put that together.
Yeah.
I know. When it hits you in the face, when you finally realize it, it is amazing.
Who knew it would be the
Hopefully it doesn't hit you in the
Usos?
face.
It's actually quite crass. It's a little lewd.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
For my taste.
It's the only thing from the Attitude Era that I think has continued.
Right, barely.
Yeah.
I would say that they can barely get away with that.
I'll tell you what, when the Outlaws do their intro, man, it never gets old.
No, it's a treat.
It really is.
And to get to see that live is a treat.
It's fun to do.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
Really
so much fun to do, even by yourself in the car.
Yeah. Goddamn.
Are we
Road
still
Dogg.
talking about genitals?
Yes.
Yep. You can self-suck it in the car.
All right.
You gotta be a good driver. Make sure you stay in the right-hand lane. Yeah, so that was a quick match. So obviously, I think we're setting up for possibly like a four-way dance for the tag team titles at WrestleMania.
Maybe a triple threat.
Maybe a triple threat. General Manager Dale Rutledge with another triple threat.
Triple threats for everybody. You get a triple threat. You get a triple threat.
We're gonna have a triple threat match. Next, Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. You know, it's weird. The crowd didn't seem as into as I thought they would be. It was very physical. You know, Roman Reigns slamming into the steps, the Wyatt family showing up. Seth Rollins, not only did he steal the show last night in their match, I mean, he was possibly my favorite part of the entire pay-per-view watching him. The flip he did out of the ring, just a complete body flip onto the Wyatt family. Unreal.
Perfect.
His height on that was astronomical.
Takes a lot of trust in yourself and your fellow wrestlers
Well, if
to
you're gonna-
pull off something like
I won't
that.
even do that into a pool, much
Right.
less onto a group of people.
I don't think I can. No, I can't. I gotta go feet first.
Right. Yeah, you pull out at the end and you just do a backsplash. Or something.
Yep.
Like, just, I don't trust myself. I can't do it.
Anything. If I ever jumped out of the ring, everything would be cannonball. That's it. But man, just incredible. The family starts to gang up on Rollins. All of a sudden, Ambrose looked like he had his walking jacket on. Runs out, helps save the day. Roman Reigns with the Superman punch. Of course, Ambrose then attacks Bray. Disqualification. It's a big Donnybrook that breaks out. But basically, Ambrose kind of got Roman disqualified.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
I don't think he was that upset about it.
He seemed all right.
He gave him a little bit
Not
of a
like
stink
Cesaro
eye. Just a
upset.
touch of the stink eye. Like, hey.
Well, Cesaro was okay with it by the end of it. That's the funny thing. If you remember that, he by the time he left the ring, he patted Jack on the. Okay, that's okay.
Do you think there's a possibility of another boiler room conversation where Roman Reigns brings this up?
You mean The Office?
Yeah, The Office. Next week he brings it up. Hey, what'd you do last week? Look what you did.
Yeah, definitely.
Then I'll be like, well, I saved.
And then he storms off again.
Yeah. It is interesting that he changed his ring gear because he wore that. Well, I don't know if it was exactly that, but he wasn't wearing the vest last night either. Ambrose.
Ambrose does little subtle changes, and I think that is a testament to how smart he is and how slowly he's developed this character, is that it looks very, very natural, and he adds these little tiny pieces here and there. The chain, he's added that.
Oh, yeah.
You are so observant.
The earring. Wow. Remember when the earring?
Observant.
Who just all of a sudden gets a gold hoop earring? It's so tiny and subtle that there is no big reason to get it other than to become more of a method actor and become that person. And Ambrose's character is slowly becoming a very specific guy that is going, and I think he's
slowly breaking away from the Shield.
correct.
As well.
I think that he personally is smart enough that he is preparing his parachute for when he has to exit, and he wants his character to be so rock solid and real that they can't get rid of it.
And I think last night that may have been also the case with Seth Rollins, because if you notice, Ambrose was barely in the match. Roman Reigns was there, of course, but Seth Rollins really was the star of that match last night.
He is taking risks,
Yeah.
and I think that he wants to be noticed because he sees that Roman Reigns is the one that they're pushing right now, so he wants to be the one that it's like, you can't ignore him.
Exactly, and that's why I think was so beautiful about that. And that flip he did tonight, gee, I mean, if you're going to flip on anyone, do it in front of 2 8-foot-tall behemoths.
Sure.
Right, don't hurt. I mean, he's definitely getting very Jeff Hardy-esque. I would say
he has got to, and he has the potential to do so. Ambrose will be totally fine because his character's big enough. They need that.
And Reigns is just big all around. And
Reigns is the next possible Rock.
Yeah. I mean,
but you know,
Rollins was Spider-Man last night, and then he pulled off that move again tonight.
Rollins knows that that size and that talent doesn't always necessarily equate to you becoming a solid superstar in the company. Look where Dolph Ziggler is. He's an amazing worker. And where is he? Yeah. Sometimes we don't even know.
That's a good point. We definitely do not. Finally, the matches are over, but we see Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar backstage, and they hit the ring.
With fresh tans.
Yes. Very much fresh tans. They had 3 hours to get ready.
Fresh fake ready.
Paul Heyman says, Brock is the obvious #1 contender, but the Authority refuses to accept it. They said everything Brock has ever tried to do, he has conquered. And he said the Authority offered him an open contract where he could take on anyone at WrestleMania. But Paul Heyman says, you know, it's just not worth it. We will politely decline. And then, gone. And the lights go out.
So exciting. I got goosebumps, did you?
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Started with the goosebumps, ended with the goosebumps.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Undertaker, 21-0 at WrestleMania. Gets down to the ring in a new terrifying outfit. I don't know how new it is, but it's pretty cool looking.
He's worn something similar in the past, but this is definitely amped up.
Pretty sweet.
Heavy eyeliner too this time.
Spiky leather.
Spiky leather.
Spiky leather.
Spiky leather.
Blonde mohawk.
Whew. Can you really call 21 wins a streak, though?
I mean,
it's okay. It's okay.
Get to 25 and we'll talk.
It's not even a round number.
So he just stares down Brock Lesnar while that contract is sitting on the table. Undertaker glances up, sees the WrestleMania sign.
Beautiful moment.
Beautiful moment. Looks back down at Brock Lesnar, and Lesnar just shakes his head yes. Signs the contract, shoves the pen into Taker's chest. To which Paul Heyman delightfully smiles and says, you know, you could just sign the contract and it'll be official. That is when Taker decides to slam that pen into Brock's hand. Choke slam through the table. Good night, nurse.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All you could hope for. That's perfect. That's above and beyond.
Such a simple act, but I wouldn't want it any other way from Undertaker. I thought that was like perfect. One small little thing. Puts him through the table, which we all knew surely was coming.
Before it happened, I said, Undertaker doesn't like use pens.
But he does.
All he knows how to do is with a pen is to stab it into your hand.
Yep. The question is now, though, up until WrestleMania, is there going to be any physical altercation? Obviously, there's not going to be any kind of match with Undertaker.
No.
So, I mean, it's going to be a lot of Paul Heyman talking. A lot of it.
It's fun.
It is.
Seems okay.
There has to be something.
A lot of mind games.
There has to be some moments. I would guess that they're going to do some spots from The Undertaker's lair, the pre-recorded ones.
I'm hoping Brock Lesnar goes digging in a graveyard somewhere.
Sure. I'd love that.
Yeah. But, I mean...
Lesnar wakes up in a grave? You never know.
Why not?
Let's do some things like that.
Yeah.
Come on.
When was the last time we had a casket match in this situation? Can you remember? I remember Mark Henry is the last one I can think of, but that was like WrestleMania 21 or something.
Quite a long time. But this, you know, because they had that little spat at the MMA event years ago. Obviously, they're not going to bring that up. But I mean,
right, and that was like 2008. Yeah. Honestly, that was so.
Lesnar Taker. I mean, I think, you know, why not?
There was only two people in my head. There was only two people that could actually make this challenge. One of them was John Cena. The other one was Brock Lesnar. So I don't know where they could have gone.
You were hoping for a three-way match between Lesnar, Batista, and Orton, were you?
Yeah, I thought Lesnar would be involved in the main event.
A triple threat match.
What if we have a triple threat? Yeah, I thought Lesnar would be. I mean, he kept talking about the title, so
sure.
Why would this be the thing? And this just was the only rumor that we had for Undertaker. So the fact that this is actually what they're making happen, I was a little surprised. Like when Lesnar came out, he's like, I want to do something historic. I was like, just hit the gong. Yeah. Like, we know this is coming.
I think that I thought they were going to try and get Lesnar. I thought maybe he was going to be in the title match, but then it would have been like basically three mega heels. People would have cheered for Lesnar over Batista and Orton for sure.
I think so, yeah.
But then again, without that, who's Taker going to face? There's really no one waiting for him.
Cena was the only person that made sense to me. Who you thought could actually beat the streak. I mean, I think at this point they have to have people that could be booked to possibly beat it. Otherwise, you're just waiting for a squash.
If
right?
Cena beats the streak,
no.
The booing that would happen.
You should really read JR's blog that he is doing, where he has this whole thing worked out where he said, you know, for maximum use of this, they should have started this like 3 years ago, but have the Undertaker say that the streak has to be broken, so that every time there is this chance of like, oh, is this the time that the streak's going to be broken? And he'll quit once it is broken. Like that was the whole stipulation.
So we don't know what year it's going to be.
Yeah.
But we know that if he wins, he's coming back.
Maybe. I think he goes out without breaking the streak. I mean, that's very possible.
I'm
at this
okay
point.
with that. I don't think the streak ever has to end. I think he wins 25 and bam.
Because everyone that could break the streak is already so over, they don't need to break the streak. Breaking the streak would only be helpful for like a Wade Barrett or a Big E or somebody who's like coming up and it'd be like something they can tout. But for Cena or Triple H or
tout?
Maybe a Bray Wyatt at some point.
I think that Bray Wyatt would be acceptable to me.
To break the streak.
I think that Taker or Mark is he has so much respect in the locker room because of his respect for the business itself that he knows that's how you go out, on your back. You don't go out not on your back. That's how it works. Right. You don't change the rules, and I don't think that that's the type of guy who would want to do that.
But you wouldn't do it for somebody, at least for the past 5 years. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, CM Punk. And now Brock Lesnar, none of those guys need to break the streak.
No.
So where do you go? So the one time that you have somebody who's now they've gotten to this point where do they go to elevate this match after this?
I would like to see a feud start with Bray Wyatt, and I would love Bray Wyatt to break the streak.
Yeah. Could be.
I would be satisfied with that.
Undertaker, Lesnar, who knows? It could end up becoming a stipulation match. Don't forget, these guys both have MMA backgrounds, so it's going to be some interesting stuff to happen. Well, that's the music. Apparently the show's over. Yeah, we had so much to talk about, but it is time to end. Cathy Kelley, put yourself over, my dear.
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley, and you can check out Chatting with Cathy because we have a couple of episodes this week that are new.
That's right.
Cool.
Dale Rutledge, go.
I am The Walking Dale on Twitter and Instagram. You can also listen to Johnny and I Show on Nerdist.com. We are the Wrestling Compadres.
That's right. Mike Burns.
I am Mike Burns. You can follow me on Twitter at PizzaNachos69. You can buy my book, Power Moves, Living the American Dream USA Style, on Amazon. And you can also follow my new Twitter endeavor, Life Hacks Pros.
I love it. I want to hear more about that.
Fantastic.
Go to Twitter at Wrestling Buds. Follow it right now. Listen to it. We got an interview with Sheamus coming up this week. Also, very good friend of mine and also one of the hosts of the NXT After Show, I believe, Hobo, has a t-shirt. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Hobo. It's as simple as that. He's got a couple shirts. He's an incredible wrestler, cuts a promo like no other. So I'm proud to wear this shirt for him. Show him support. Go buy that t-shirt, everybody. We'll see you next week from Chicago. Good night, everybody.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.